Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. A dear hello to you all. I do hope you're doing well. I'm just waiting for my tablet to come on, but I can properly work with the chat here. I do hope you're all well. And we will be carrying on here today, surely enough. I do just need to have, like, a little PSA, public service announcement, we'll call it. And I'm almost here now, almost ready. There we go. Okay, there we go, got the tablet sorted out. Right, yeah, so what I would like you guys to go ahead and do, if you could do me a tremendous favour, is if I go ahead and enable that, and remove that. Yes, I put a poll up over here. If you guys could do me a tremendous favour and actually go ahead and just answer here, essentially. You can go ahead and comment and just say whatever you'd like to see, and that'd be really good. That'd be very, very handy. I don't really know how to share the poll, to be honest. I don't even know how you get to the community section on YouTube, really. But I'm going to post that link. Maybe that works. I honestly do not know. Don't know that. I'm just going to get things ready here, so... Uno momento. How you doing there, Jeff? No, I can agree with that. I do like working with a difficult situation. I mean, we will be taking a look at Stalingrad very shortly. And, well, I mean, that's the situation where we managed to break... we managed to break the encirclement last turn, but we haven't been able to maintain that. So we have to try to break that again. We don't have the same information that we did last turn, and the situation on the ground is ever changing. Our men aren't rested as they were, or might have been potentially last turn either. So that is obviously something that we do have to take into consideration as well then. Let's see. Yep, there we are. Okay, all good to go. If you guys could do me a tremendous favour as well, and like the video, that'd be much appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't as well, that would be good. Okay, and I had a good friend George say he likes the background. I do agree, it's from Dark Heresy. I actually do have Dark Heresy 2 and 1 as well, actually, still. And I have a GM screen, and it has this image, and it's really super cool, in fact. I really did like that. Let me go ahead and get the music working here. It seems to do what it wants, whenever it wants. Right, there we are. Yeah, I thought I'd go ahead and talk about the changes then, since the last turn. Since the first turn, really. I'll go ahead and just reduce the brightness of my screen here. A little bit dark. Don't want to blind myself. Now, if you guys remember, we went ahead and reduced the TOE of divisions just across the board to about 70 here as maximum. Which is actually pretty interesting, because it is going to leave us in a very intriguing situation. Like in the future, you can see, well, we have a 43 infantry division here, which is about 16,000 men, as you'd imagine from the 42, 41 division, the pre-war division. And you can see here that essentially we're closer to a 44 division here at the moment. And yeah, it's quite interesting. So 252 there. So you can see what we're at right now is about 229 now. And it's actually quite interesting, because what I'd like to go ahead and do is take a look, really. Add some material. I could do eventually picking up some books in the near future about the actual makeup of the Wehrmacht. And I'd really like to go ahead and take a look and just see how the divisions and etc. were changed, the formations were changed. So I did find it oddly curious that we're quite close to what the 44 one will be like. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how that changes overall. How you doing there, Sarge? Yeah, Dojo needs like a stream section. I've advertised Dojo. I've talked about him. I've let people know about him. I can do it. I'm kidding. Hopefully it doesn't get mad. But I wanted to talk about as well what this has meant so far. So if we go to our active pool over here for production. Now you'd be like, well, okay, so we've had a number of men return. Where are we going to see that first and foremost? And some of you might be like, well, maybe we see that in manpower. And no, not really. You're not going to see it as manpower, really. Where we have seen it is if I go ahead and go down here to Rifle Squad. As you can see here, this is active. So this is what is in the pool right now, and actively there. Well, it's just actively in the pool. Actively swimming. And note that we have built 420 there. Obviously you can see this is how many units we have that have rifles in them. And if I go to transit, I would have to take a look at the term beforehand to confirm, but I do believe that we have 2,415 rifle squads actually heading back to the production pool. So if I go to all, it will show that we have 3,602 here. Which is pretty interesting. Because it does, it gives us a particular option. And it does make me wonder how it will affect things in the future. But the option I'm talking about is essentially, well, we can have targeted rebuilding of divisions and maybe try to bring things up. It's going to be interesting. Because obviously we do have 70%, but that's not 70% of just the infantry, that's 70% of just a lot of different things in there. And, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how that's going to work out. Because it means in theory that we're going to have like 30% less mortars and artillery. So we may have the panzer divisions and the motorized divisions benefit more from having greater access to such artillery and such things, really. Yeah, quite interesting. That's what I'd go on about that one. I kind of like to see what... so we're showing 68% here. I don't know whether that's going to go to 100%. And that 100% be the new TOE maximum. I've got to assume. So I'm going to be quite interested to see how this changes in the future. How you doing there, George? The combat was at the end. The turn was at the last stream, in fact. Thanks very much there, Jeff. That's much appreciated, my man. I must say you're looking pretty damn fine here today. Yeah, so we are at the beginning of a new turn. And we have to address the changing situation. So taking a look at here, if I go ahead and press 8, I can actually go ahead and take a look at how freight has been moving now, which is pretty good. Generally, freight's moving quite well, and if I go ahead and bring up the rails over here, I guess I have to have a caveat there. Freight is moving quite well in certain places. Like over here, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fine. I could do with something a little bit closer here, but beggars can't be choosers. But you can see that generally the rail lines are taxed quite heavily in the Ukraine and in Belarus. This area here, really. Which does make sense. Of course, we do have... I probably wager we have more dual gauge in the north over here in the Baltic. We also do have ports. And obviously we do have a shorter supply line, really. Obviously it's much closer to Germany and East Prussia than, let's say, the Kaban is. So that does make sense there. How you doing, George? People are going to start to think it's a relationship, and they'd be right. Yeah. There's a few things I need to go ahead and do then. Oh, I actually did do that. I did change these to exports rather than imports, so that's good. Just need to make sure they're correct. I'm going to go ahead and make sure they're all actual exports over here. I don't really want to be transferring anything over here by accident. But I transferred over here to Danzig and Königsberg. Which is interesting. I don't know if that's actually beneficial. In some ways it might be beneficial, but I'd like to try to avoid that. I really want to push it out this way where I can, really. And ideally to Tallinn and Riga. If I take a look over here, then we have a size 2 port, which is... oh, bugger, I forgot what it is now for ports. I think it's about 7,500 freight or something like that. So it's about 15,000 or so freight. Large port over here so we can handle more. You see there we do have a 900 supply there. It's really interesting because obviously we're working with a system in motion. And that's actually pretty cool because we do have a lot of freight, we do have a lot of supply already in the area, really. And it's like, well, that's very interesting to work with because I didn't have that in my own campaign. Because of the nature of the campaign, obviously not managing the logistics very well. We didn't really ever have building up of like stocks like that, so it's quite interesting to work with that. Stalingrad, we'll have to take a closer look. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look across the front first and foremost, and just go over like the changes from the actual turn, really. I haven't gone through and used the AP as of yet. I think I'll look towards leaders. I was going to do support units, but you know what, there's not that much to do. I might as well just do it in the actual game, to be fair. And then at least you guys get to be part of it. And I'm not alone. How you doing there, listener? Merry Christmas to you as well. Yeah, see, that's another thing as well. I will be going home again tomorrow, but I'll be going home tomorrow. I may be able to do some streaming on the 26th. My family's going up to Newcastle. I may be able to remain behind and do a little bit of streaming. We'll see. I'm going to take the microphone with me as well. But I'm going to be taking a number of books to read. I've been reading Chen Yongfa's Making Revolution. I'm up to chapter 5 in that one. But I do have a couple I do want to read. One of them being The Guangxi Way in Kuomintang, China, 1931 to 1939 by Eugene William Levitch. That's what I'd like to read. I do have this snazzy blue one, which I can't even properly read. Some of these books are fairly old, in fact. And it's called The Abortive Revolution. China Under the Nationalist Rule, 1927 to 1937 by Lord E. Eastman. That one looks interesting, so I'm going to take that one with me as well. And then I do have... who's the author here? They don't really have the... what do you call them? The wraps. I forget what you call them now. Sleeves. Here we go. From War to Nationalism, China's Turning Point, 1924 to 1925 by Arthur Waldron. And he's actually pretty interesting. So this was US Naval War College and Brown University. 1995, apparently. So I'm looking forward to reading those when I get a chance over the holidays. I'm going to try and make it useful. Okay. Let's go back to my original point then. So, if we go ahead and head over here to like logistics. Upgrade's quite interesting. We do have a number of Stug battalions being upgraded right now. But, we are seeing a nice amount of aircraft swap over here. We did obviously move a large amount into the pool, but I'm not too sure if these are in the actual reserve pool or whether they're in different theatres. I can see certain things, like you can see they're changed from planes. Now that's pretty interesting there. This air group changed from Focke-Wulf 198-4 to BF 109G2. We'll have more control over that. Once I can actually move things around more properly the next turn in the reserve, I can work for that. I do have a number of upgrades there. Yeah, quite a bit going on there right now. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, redesignated to the 5th Panzer Army. I'm not used to having a 5th Panzer Army. That's the main one I wanted to bring up. I was like, oh my god, we actually have a 5th Panzer Army. And I've got to wonder where that is, because if we actually do have another army, that's like a freaking big deal. Big deal there. Like doing that, Arthur, good to have you. Ah, Jeff. Yeah, that one got away from me. It's a little bit later already, so I don't know about 4 hours, but enough time. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the 5th Panzer Army, wherever they are. Not used to having a 5th one, though, so I'm quite curious to see about that. Gotta wonder where it's actually at. I really do hope it's an actual legitimate army. I'm not seeing it. I'll go... I don't know where it could be. I go through here then. Headquarters. Go for army. On map. I was hoping it would actually be a Panzer Army, but I'm not seeing it right now. Maybe it's in another theatre. Ah, there we are. Ah, okay. That's why I'm not familiar with it. Where's the, Yeah, there we are. See, that's why I'm not familiar with that. But I tell you what, I'm definitely gonna nab that. It's not often you get Panzer. It doesn't really matter if it's a Panzer Army. That's a smile. Pretty good morale there. A protocol animal. But that's actually pretty useful because I can go ahead and have that transferred to the map. And in about 4 turns, we'll have a 5th Panzer Army, which is actually going to be pretty useful for me. Quite useful, in fact. Just having another army in general is very good. A little fact for those who don't know, the day of the Soviets closed the pocket on Germans of Stalingrad was the Todestag. Oh, wow. German Day for the Dead. That's pretty cool. Right, okay. So, we'll have a new headquarters there in a couple of days. A couple of weeks, I should say. Now, currently we have 6th, 2nd, and 4th. Yeah, 2nd Panzer, 4th Panzer Army as our assault headquarters, and 6th Army as an assault headquarters too, which is going to be pretty interesting. So if you take a look at how the turn went, we did see attacks over here on the Italians as well. But the attacks on the Italians were actually fairly manageable, to be honest. As far as it goes, it was pretty manageable. Over here we did have a German regiment attacked, which wasn't great. It lost a good extent of its men. And it doesn't make... Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me considering they came under attack from a rifle corps. 2 guards rifle corps there, which is not exactly great. Yeah, heavy support there. Heavy support. So that one's a bit of a problem. It's not like I can really throw much out there. So yeah, we'll have to manage that. Yeah, we broke the pocket last turn, but then the Soviets attacked into here, and actually, they pushed us back and actually closed the pocket again. We did have a number of forces pushed back over here. We were pushed back over here, but we did inflict some pretty heavy losses upon the Soviets in the first. But then they were forced to retreat there in the second. But they did manage to take out a good number of enemy AFVs, which is pretty good. Generally made them bleed, which is very good. Our forces did suffer, and probably might be a good idea to actually start down in the south this time. I'll take a look at the enemy's AFV losses, and losses in general in a second, to be fair. I'm just really glad that Stalingrad held. I was, like, really quite worried that it wouldn't. I'm quite glad that this one did hold there. It was attacked by a fair amount of AFVs as well, so could have definitely gone. Being both scouted is a pretty big deal, but yeah, they lost a pretty significant amount of AFVs there. Pretty significant. Funnily enough, the Romanians actually contributed. But yeah, they had some pretty good support there. Yeah, looking pretty good there. We did have the Panzers push back over here, which does make sense, though we did lose a lot of our AFVs, which really did not help at all. Being pushed back across the river made it even worse. I mean, they retreated over here at a large loss of AFVs, but I mean, they did manage to knock out a good deal as well. That was a pretty big attack. It's a shame that they were pushed back, but they really were pretty exhausted after the attacks, to be honest. But we should be able to rectify the situation. It does depend, really. And if I take a look, these regiments over here, they did take a bit of a battering, but they can generally be put into the divisions once again, really. The fact that they're actually still ready is a big deal. We do have less hexes to defend, so I can work with that. The issue is obviously 6th Army being an assault HQ, I can't really work with that too well. But I could probably take 6th Army out of assault army status, to be honest, and would probably be okay, considering it's majority infantry now. Aye. That's a problem over here, but we do at least have a level of fortification over here, so at least I do have something. They will push through that, but we do have 3 and we do have a 4 there to help us out. So we'll take a look at down in the south. Down here then we did have a... well, we had the Romanians routed over here, which is not a surprise at all. I don't know where the Romanians have gone, in fact. Oh, that's them. Yeah, that's them over there. If I take a look. Yeah, they're depleted right now, so they're going to have to be rebuilt. But that's manageable. The fact that they got out is nice enough. They do obviously lose a lot of their guns. They're only down to 7 guns. They did lose 29. And a third of their number, but they got out. So that's something I can manage. Yeah. If someone's pushed up over here, we do see them pushing over here, but generally things are alright. These guys managed to have a bit of a rest period. If I can go ahead and take a look over here and take a look at their supply details. They received some replacements, which is good. Yeah, they received some supply out here. And the good news is they've received from the depot over here. I think that might be the one they're sat on. And you can see that they received 73, and yeah, they didn't use any vehicles or anything of that nature. Supplies consumed. We did have some admin failures, though, which is pretty interesting. But I think that's because they're obviously under the command of a Panzer Army rather than under a corps as well. So it's more likely that there will be some administration failures, as it's going by the army commander, and obviously different levels of command do help to soften the blow. But yeah, there we are. So we're currently in the air phase, before I bring that up. And take a look at what we have then. We do have a number of Stukas over here. We do still have some Romanian fighters. And some reconnaissance in there. In all honesty, there's not too much. We do have a squadron. Yeah. On a wing. Yeah, a squadron. We do have about 40 BF on a 9G2 over there. So at least we do have something. Can work with that. Yeah, well, I mean, we're pulling back, and it's not exactly a huge deal out there. So, with the reconnaissance that I do have, I'm going to fly them this turn. What is the weather here today? Let's go ahead and put the roads on, by the way. But then on so you guys can see that Stalingrad. I was going to say where's the number, but it's when we zoom out. Right, okay. When's the historical recapture? February 2nd. Okay. Ish. I mean, we're trying to pull the army out. I'd rather not have it starve in there. But who knows how the situation would go. But frankly, I will abandon Stalingrad. It's not something I'm gonna. If I could hold on to it, it'd be great. But I'm not gonna give the lives of the Sixth Army for that. It's something that can be retaken, maybe. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do then is so we've got reconnaissance there, ground support. What do we have? I don't really have a great awareness. Last reconnaissance on turn 1. So these were the numbers of fighters and disposition of fighters, aircraft in general, that we knew of on the first turn. But obviously things have changed since then. Yeah, they're not going to obviously fly there. I do have the BF-109s over there. Do have them there. Frankly, I just need to have reconnaissance. I do have the ground support there. I do have that group, which I'm going to commit to the ground support. Have these others in here as well. Yeah, you can see that we do have the additional ones over here, but obviously they're far outside range. There is that group that could be contributed to the ground support. And that's not a bad idea in all honesty. So we'll have them placed in there. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is I'm going to have that as high intensity. I know it's a little... I mean, it doesn't really help because the weather's poor right now. But I need any kind of reconnaissance I can work with. Difficult thing is going to be like where to place that. But as far as I can see, we don't have a unit in there. I can't be sure of that, but apparently that is what we can see right now. So the question comes down to, like, well, where do we have the reconnaissance? Because I don't know what's going on in this area. But I'd like to have it somewhat focused, but then I suppose the issue is it's like, well, let's go ahead and take a look then if I can. I can't click on them to see movement. But opposing them is the 1st Artillery Division, which would be very nice. If I could take that out, that'd be great. That would be excellent. I mean, if I could capture the artillery, that'd be bloody phenomenal. Ain't gonna happen, but you know, we can dream. So we do that. We do have that greetiness right now. But beyond that, I don't know. I don't see units over here, but it would mean crossing the major river, which isn't going to help us out all that much. But there could be something to be said for having forces move out this way. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to place a reconnaissance. Maybe here. Maybe here. I think here. I don't know. It's a hard one to say. I might even go larger, just try and detect anything. It's a tough call, really. It is a tough call. I guess I'll go with that. It is going to get them killed, but I need that. I need that intelligence. So bad, man. They do at least have some escort. I'm going to place it down on medium intensity, I guess. The weather's really bad. Yeah, we have snowfall right now. I guess I'm going to go for low intensity. Yeah, I'd rather try and maintain them to some extent, I guess. Everybody else can continue. No need for change. Can I alter the preferences over here? I'd like to try and increase the scroll speed a little. Feels a little bit slow for my liking. There we go. I like it when it's a little bit snappier. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. I don't have transports in the field. I move them all to the reserve. As most things move to reserve as well. Don't worry about the black screen. So we'll go with that. And execute directive. Let's make sure the chat's working. And again, yeah, do go ahead and vote in this poll. That'd be ideal. Apparently that link works, so that's cool. Okay, so couple sorties there, 24 sorties, none by the Soviets, 48. Couple losses there to operational, which makes sense. So 3 aircraft, 4 aircraft. So we fly 72 times. Of some description anyway. Okay, yeah, that's obviously where we had the losses there. Yes. Interdiction. So it looks like they went down to flak, I think, anyway. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Right then. Oh, okay, there we go. So the situation's not as bad as it once appeared then. Still bad, because we do have clear issues to deal with. If I take a look over here then, a little bit of reconnaissance there. I don't know the level you need to actually reveal enemy units. But the reconnaissance is not too bad out there. Yeah, guards. So, it's an interesting case here, really, because the Soviets also did turn around, and they did turn around to attack Stalingrad itself there, didn't they? I wish they found it a little bit harder than I guess they were expecting. These Romanians over here are not exactly the units I want to rely on there. We do have the Croatians over here, so that's good to see. What I'm going to go ahead and do then, so we do have the 6th Army here. Yeah, I can't bloody get. I need to try and get the alien software work, alien command center software working. So it seems like I'm not quite running the computer at the best performance right now. So I don't know. Kind of annoying. Right, anyway. So we have 6th Army over here then. Oh, it looks like, yeah, it looks like 6th Army was routed, or at least pushed out of there, actually. Which isn't particularly ideal. But we can open that up so I can actually make that work. Yeah, that core was as well. That's not ideal. Yeah, they were probably over here. Yeah, I think they were there, weren't they? Yeah. We're looking at this one wasn't routed either. So it looks like they were there routed, perhaps. Okay. So, take a look at the actual general situation from within. Note as well that we have... yeah, there are. So you can see that they're already considered isolated right now, so obviously we need to fix that ASAP, which is a pretty easy fix, and considering I can just move forward a unit and that will work. Luckily I can reform the 16th Motorized Division there and have something a little bit more staying power. So we see here then rifle, guards rifle, artillery division. We do see 3 divisions there, and the brigade. So that belongs to a tank corps. The pressure really is difficult to gauge exactly, because we do have a lot of units that move down this way. A lot of units that attack into Stalingrad area itself, into the perimeter itself. So it's pretty interesting. Right. We do have 2 Panzer divisions that are now available for us, which is very good to work with. Now that the 4th Panzer Army is currently overloaded. So... I may go ahead and actually place the Romanians under the command of the Romanians, of course. That'll help out to a degree by removing pressure from the 4th Panzer. Can work with things a little bit more there. So I think I'll go for that. So we do have 4th Romanian. Also these like artillery and etc. I do want to use there. Not the best commander. Maybe somebody a little bit better than. So I do have 5th Romanian. Aurelian son. That's a really cool name. Yeah, he can actually do a little bit better now with that 5. He's going to command in the 13th and the 6th over here. The 6th is actually considered ready. The 13th is in a state of unreadiness, but it'll be ready probably next turn. I'll have that assigned to like a local Romanian command then. So I'm going to go ahead and do then. I'll go ahead and take you. Place you there for the time being. Yeah, we do have a couple of Romanian corps. Not particularly fantastic though. I need to go ahead and share out, well, properly have those support units assigned really. Let's go with something like that then, I guess. Well, really I want to keep it as close as I can. So, 5th Romanian. They can go in there. These divisions... Really, I want to have these divisions move down elsewhere. Like, somewhere over here would be a good thing. They can go to the actual town out there. Or even somewhere else. Just essentially somewhere that's on dual rail. But not on the actual rail line, but I'm making the most use of. You can see the one I mentioned previously. The rail's green now. So it's not actually under that much of a load. So I think I'll move the unready one out there. Or even potentially both. It's a tough question because it's like we do have to recognize the threat over here. Like those 2 guard rifle corps are going to be a major threat to deal with. We do have a call out here as well to deal with. We need to try and make something of this. I'm going to have to try and pull forces out from Stalingrad, and that's going to be a difficult one in of itself, really. If I abandon the perimeter too quickly, we may yet face disaster, but if I do it too slowly, we may yet face disaster, so... it is a nasty one. It does mean ceding the victory points as well, which is pretty nasty. But then it's like, well, what can we do about it? There's not really forces coming to relieve them, not immediately. So it's a tough ask. Right, they can continue to head down that way. Let's get the roads on. So the 15th Luftwaffe Field Division is heading to the Crimea. They're gonna occupy that. Right, so I've got that Luftwaffe They need to move out this way. I'm going to have them move over here to Kerch, and then they can reform with the rest of their division. They can't reach the front line here. I mean, that one could, but even then, it's not going to reach where I need it to be. So I'm going to have them reform into the 10th over here. Yeah, quite handy. They got a decent amount of construction value, so they could start to fortify here as well. That's the big thing too, is like that's only 9 construction value. That's 10, so that's 20 there. 13. Yeah, so, yeah, 15 as well. So, these guys over here are going to start to build these fortifications, which is pretty handy. And that is going to make the Crimea significantly tougher for any Soviet assault to take it back. Which is really good. It's kind of like... It's a good use of the Luftwaffe. Field divisions, in my opinion. It's a nasty use of German manpower. But they're not exactly things you want to have out there on the front line either. And if they can actually hold on to the Crimea, like, resolutely, then that's pretty good. I do need to, let's see. So they're currently on import. Well, they are on export, I should say. I'm going to make Sevastopol very high priority. Or I could make it Kerch. The only thing is, though, really, if I do make it Kerch, like, we have a vastly larger port over here. We have a much larger rail yard, too. I do have something over here, so I'm going to have it at a certain priority, but not as high of a priority. Making a freeze, pretty not bad. And I do have a port over here as well. I mean, that was the Black Sea Fleet port, I believe. If I take a look at the actual interdiction, I'd have to have some aircraft out here. I'd have to essentially have, like, naval patrol out here. Like, over here, it's uncontested. We even have, like, natural interdiction coming out from our own ports there, so that's pretty handy there. But I think I want it to move to Sevastopol. Have it move from Constanta to Sevastopol, and then at least it can actually build up a stockpile at Sevastopol. And then I can probably have that, like, used to post it out across Crimea. We do have issues with partisans, though, which is not ideal. It is what it is. Okay. I know I meandered off there from the original task. 4 Romanian. Yeah, it's an interesting one, really, because I need numbers, but I don't need numbers. I need replacements. Right, so they're kicked back, and that's probably one of the smallest regiments I've ever seen. That is pathetically tiny, and I'm amazed that's even actually a functional unit. I mean, it's not a functional unit, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's take another look down here too. The depot itself, so we managed to draw it out from there, which is good. This one over here. Let's take a look at the actual stock. So there's 202 stocked there. There's obviously a lot more stocked over there, but I can pull back to that and then have it transfer over here. It is going to be interesting. I would, I may try to hold this a little longer. I do have the divisions over here. If I could have the divisions begin to fortify, that really would make a big difference. First Panzer is not an assault army as well, so they'll fortify at a good rate. So that's very handy. What do I have there in terms of construction value? 8. Division is 57. Yeah, that's quite a big construction value. I mean, but again, these divisions could actually do with being moved north, but I do need to fortify here too. So, this is part of the 50th division, which is down here. So I'm going to have that move towards its actual parent division. Okay. So I've got rough terrain out there. And we do have a major river here, so I can make a lot of use of that. It's a bloody shame. I mean, it's a real gigantic shame that I have the depot on the wrong side of the river. Like, if that was actually on the other side of the river, this would be a much, much better position. It doesn't make all that much of a difference, but it's one of those where I don't really want to give that to the Soviets, but it doesn't matter all that much either. I mean, they do have this over here, where they can actually fortify, so... Well, they can actually make use of, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. Yeah. I mean, there's, like, planes out here, but we can make use of that. We do have the bloody amazing river, though, to work with, so I'm going to definitely make use of that. I'm going to start over here to the north end. And, excuse me. I'll probably have these regiments placed under the direct command of Army Group A, as they don't need to be under a direct command. Yeah. Another 3 down here works well enough. Because I do have that rough terrain there to anchor on too, which is super handy. Oops. There we are. Probably should have had them given over to the command first. Then this would have been a lot quicker. Yeah. Scheiße. I love that. Oh, Scheiße. Okay, that's awkward. Didn't mean to actually give him to that. Ah, fuck. It doesn't make that much of a difference. It's a little annoying though. Alright, and they can go down there. Fuck. Well, it's fine, it's fine. It's just annoying. Looks ugly. Okay, now... Over here's pretty interesting. I don't want to make use of that river. Right, I'm going to have to move up. Nasty place, though. So... I'm going to occupy that position there. I know it's not great, but the reason why I'm doing that is because I can reduce the actual front fairly significantly. Now, I'd lose the river, but I do gain that mountain there. These forces could be used down here. But I'm not too sure that there's actually Soviet forces down here. Yeah. The Romanians are an interesting one. They don't have a huge amount of construction value. And I do have a depot down there, which is actually kind of useful to make use of. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking, is it worth my time to actually have these guys here? Do I gain all that much? Hard to say, really, isn't it? I think I'd rather have... In fact, I'm going to have that push back there. And I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to have that head back. So... I do have... I could probably have a solid line along here. And this being rough terrain is interesting. Yeah, it's a shame I can't have... it's a shame that this is clear terrain and not, like, rough. I mean, even here is, like, clear. That's clear. So it's like, I could build a position along here. Yeah, I know, right? Let's get Ep.7. How you doing there, Hospitality? Good to have you, my friend. I don't know where to put this. I need to get a 4K screen. I think I'm going to get one of those shortly enough. Yeah, so I could go like that. Or even... I mean, there's obviously lots of different ways you could do things, really. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I wanted that one. Or I'll go for that one. Yeah, and then I could start working on a fallback position behind the major river there. An alternative would be to have positions dug. I don't know, like something like that, or some variation, like even something like that. It's interesting. I think of the two, I'd probably favor something like that. Yeah. Probably favor something like that because I do have the rough terrain over here. Granted, I don't have the river to work with, but then the actual Soviets having the river to their backs is actually an interesting thing, really. Because it means if I force them to retreat back across the river, they will take... I think they take about 3 or 4 times additional retreat or... additional retreat attrition. Or something of that nature. So that could actually be more advantageous. I'd just download Epic Pen. But then it's like also a case of, well, if I take that... But I don't think it's worthwhile. I think what I want to go ahead and aim for is that, really. It's easier on my own logistics. I mean, another thing to potentially consider is, like, maybe a position there, but then it's, like, more open terrain. At least over here it's open, yeah, sure, but I've got a major river to play with. I need to try and buy time for these regiments to dig in, really. And then we can address the situation. So I think I'll aim for that one, ultimately. Yeah, I think that's the one we'll aim for. So they're currently in a clear terrain. Though, then again, it's... Maybe the river is worth it. Maybe it's worth it. Ah. Maybe it is worth it. Can I take a look at the manual? I mean, this obviously takes advantage of this being in the Caucasus. I'm going to go with that one because it's a little bit prettier to read than a living one. I don't know where to see it. I'll just go ahead and take a look at the isolated rules. Because that's also going to be quite important now. Yeah, when a unit is isolated, the CV values come out divided by 2. So that's the thing. Right, attrition. Let me search by major river. Maybe that might come up with something. Right, okay. Let's show me the difference now. Ah. Yeah, I suppose that might be the benefit to the river, in fact. So it isn't going to freeze down here. I'm pretty sure it won't freeze down here. I think it'll get cold, but I don't think it'll freeze over. Yeah, so I can see there. Attack across unfrozen major river in addition to applicable attack cost. 4. The extra MP cost of attacking across the river is equal to 2/3 of the MP cost truncated for moving across the river. Right. For example, a motorized unit pays 17 extra points for attacking across a major river when the ice level is 7. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine that. So... I'd like to know more about the rivers. So we know there's an MP. I just want to know if there's like a definitive like... So that's movement cost. But how does it factor into combat? Yeah, okay. Major river hex side effects, movement, points, cost, and combat. That's what I want to find out about, like how it impacts on combat. Right. Trying to find... I don't have to find that. I've just said that, but I really want to know that. So there's an assumption. Oh, okay, crossover attacks. Maybe I should have typed in that. So combat units attack into a hex with non-frozen ice level 4 or less for minor rivers and ice level 7 or less for major rivers. Yeah, major rivers are hard to freeze to. Minor or major hex river hex sides are required to spend additional movement points. Yep, as we know. All ground elements that cross the river to attack are subject to a disruption check prior to the initial computation of combat value. Ground elements with longer range indirect fire devices will normally not check for disruption, while infantry and combat engineers most likely will check. Infantry type ground units will tend to suffer approximately the same amount of disruption for both minor and major rivers, but AFVs and combat vehicle ground elements will suffer more disruption in crossing a major river than a minor river. Since disrupted units do not contribute to overall combat value, players can anticipate a reduction in overall CV of up to half for a major river up to 2/3. That's a big benefit then. Okay, the river. The river seems like the best case then. I think then. Get them out there. Yeah, that's good. I've been wondering about that for a while, so it's quite good to actually have that in black and white now. Very nice. Yeah, so these rivers over here, I mean, this is it. It's really good to make use of them. Shame it doesn't cross over here. Alas, can't have everything, can we? So they seem to be moving out that way. What's the, construction value is really quite poor, isn't it? Those are not particularly strong regiments. Right. Okay. So let's take a look at that then. We have level 1 forts here, but what I might be better off doing then is if I go over here. Let me go ahead, I'm going to take the big brush. I know I'm probably going to have to return some units to where they began. But if I essentially go something like that. forego this position over here, but make sure that we have the rivers working to our advantage. I could probably place some units behind here. It depends really how much I care for the town over here, really. So I could establish a depot here, but this depot is already active, so it's worthwhile keeping. But I think pull back there, that's going to give me more men to work with. I'm not that concerned about the fortifications, because I can build level 1 pretty quick. But I do worry about the actual numbers. Like, for example, you take a look at the Viking over here, SS Panzer Grenadier. And you take a look at the 3rd, the 2nd Regiment of the 3rd. And there's a pretty significant difference in terms of their men there. So I don't really want to have it to where we have the Viking being underutilized. And then, like, really pressuring Panzer regiments unnecessarily. So a pullback's a good idea, then. I think we'll be able to amend things quite nicely. Yeah, even these guys over here are not in the best shape at all. They're not faced much in the way of opposition, though, of course. So, Viking. Assuming that's how you pronounce the damn thing. I want to have them. I think covering. They could do these 3 hexes, really. Possibly so. And then I could probably have 3rd Panzer Division form up as a division over here. And then these guys over here come into real handy play, don't they? Yeah, we can probably make that work for us then. I also do have 3rd Panzer Division here. It'd be great to get those Panzer Divisions out, but they do come in handy. These guys over here, I'm going to have utilize start digging. I think down here, really. So I'm going to place them into A. They're not going to do a lot, but if they can occupy the position and allow me to start digging, that's pretty good. The rough over here is pretty good. Yes. So I'm going to have them take a position down here then. But I want to go this way. I mean, that'd be great for a depot, but there's a lot of clear terrain. So then it's like, well, do I go behind a river? I wish we had major river here, but alas no. Even the minor river is still pretty useful, though. I may want to just keep them in position just to utilize then. I think I'll keep them around this area so I can just use them as, like, I don't know, something to bulk up a hex. That's probably not a bad thing. Okay. Let me go ahead and just move you there. I could even potentially have them positioned here. They have the 3 hex sides there, river. I don't care all that much for them, but it's not a bad thing to have there. Have 3rd Division form up over here. Yeah, which is going to be infinitely better for them. I'm going to try and keep these like as divisions where I can. I need to keep an eye on the time, so I don't want to stream too long. I mean, this has already been an hour and I've done really F all. They can be on reserve there. I mean, these aren't small units either. I really don't like them being like that size. Maybe worthwhile to have them cover the southern flank, but I don't think that's really a problem. I could even move these troops over here to cover the southern flank if I want to. But it opens me up a little bit over here. Maybe I'd be better off just having these guys placed a little bit further back. But then it's a nice use of fortification. I think what I'm going to get more out of them is maybe even having them out here. But then again, this is it, isn't it? Like, forces here. But it's only like 4,000-ish men. It's not a lot of men, is it, really? So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then is if I place these guys over here, they're in a position just to project zone of control. And it does make flanking a little bit harder. We do have Viking, which is going to be supported then by 23rd Panzer, 3rd Panzer, and 13th Panzer on the flank. 3rd Panzer... These guys could really do some support, really. Would like to have them prioritize a little bit more. But I mean, this is it. It is a pullback. It is a proper pullback. I do have another corps that I could work with. This is a Luftwaffe corps with a pretty poor commander. But does that mean I gain access to additional commanders? Obviously, it's expensive to replace that. I can't tell distinction of branch. So I have no idea. But I could obviously have him replace that fairly easily. It's just obviously expensive. Admin, yeah, he's really, really not... He's not really what you want to have here as a field commander. That's for damn sure. I don't really gain much of benefit from having him, like, more or less anywhere. His morale's okay. Initiative's okay. Political's a thing that we don't really want anyway, to a degree. But yeah, that mechanized is beyond poor, and the infantry is pretty poor. I think really what I could do with him then is probably have him move to the Crimea. But then again, this is the issue, isn't it? I can spend the points that I can have him replace him. We can have a good commander, so a bit of a mute point. If I take a look out here, man. Oh shit, I can establish a depot there. That's handy. That's real handy, in fact. Nice. Nice. It's a shame about here. I mean, I could even potentially push forward, but I don't know. I think the major river is going to be really good. Being able to deny the enemy up to like 2/3 of their CV potentially is a pretty huge deal. Yeah. Only issue is that they're going to be drawing from a depot up over here, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, that's only a sizable rail yard, so not the best. Not the best. I will construct that nonetheless, though. And it may be worthwhile to have a couple... I think it is going to be worthwhile. Establish at least another depot out here, perhaps. Would make a good practice. I am going to disband the depot. They're okay right now. And that river works fairly well, to an extent. And that's just clear terrain. I think I'm going to establish a depot over here just in the center. The reason being that it will help us when we are pulling back. So I can make use of that. Right, so I know I spent a absurd amount of time on that, but I'm pretty happy with that. For the most part. This is a difficulty over here. Not a vast amount I can do about that, but they would be fairly easily cut off. Fortifications continue to be dug over here. The AI is banned in that position, but I'm not going to take that. They should be better due to AI well, just patches in general. And obviously the higher difficulty. But I'm not going to abuse the AI. If I see something like that, I'm not going to abuse it because I don't think it's fair on them. And I do prefer a challenge. So we'll not take the mic there. Okay. So I've got a depot there. I don't think they were previously able to move into position before. 58, 78, 21, 36. Yeah, rest of 50 is on the way. Surprising that. I think, did they come under attack? They did, that's why then. Now that's why. Yeah. They were doing well enough with just 2 divisions. So that works for me. Have a 3rd regiment there. Eventually I'll bring the 50th division down here shortly enough. Let's go ahead and check that out again. Let me make that a little bit larger. Yeah. If the phase player can enter a Fenny Hex, then they can attack from that Hex. If the attack fails, the attacker units will be retrieved from the Fenny Hex. Beachhead bonus. Defender units on or adjacent to a temporary port Hex will have end of combat. Okay, so that's when you obviously like use amphibious. Okay. Now the good news is that a rail actually handled a lot of freight. Where's the rail? It's over here. At 50k. I wish I'd taken a look at. If you guys actually want to take a look at the previous episode, you can have a look and see how the AFVs have changed. I'd like to say they've changed. I don't think they've received a huge amount of freight, but they may have because they've been sat on top of the actual depot. Oh shit, yeah, they got a lot of freight there. That's quite a lot of freight. So they got 1283 there replacement, which is very good. No admin failures here too. So yeah, they've definitely been beefed up. I can't recall what they were at beforehand, but they've definitely been beefed up. I wish I could see like a view where it shows you like the turn before and return now. I might even ask the developers about that. That'd be really good to have. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. This one didn't get as much as the 18th, but they still got 706 there, so that's pretty good. That really helped them out. And it means that we actually have 2 divisions over here that we can actually utilize. This is going to be an awkward situation out here. Yeah. What doesn't help our situation is that this is an assault army. And I really don't want to have these guys as assault army. How you doing there, Evil? Good to have you, my friend. So really, I could do with placing them under the command of an infantry. Or even just removing assault status from the 2nd Panzer Army would be really nice. That would be good. Yeah. How do we manage over here, but in terms of freight? Wow, they did very nice. Oh yeah, they did pretty damn good there in replacements. Yeah, they made out very well there. That's actually very interesting because that could allow for a pushback over here, perhaps. Now, taking a look at the actual terrain, I don't know if they have troops in here. I really don't know. But we have rough terrain there to work with to help contain. Yeah, they've made some good work out here, some good progress. Okay. Again, I'm not going to abuse the AI where it's pulled back where I don't think it should have. What I'm going to go ahead and do is move the second corps here. Yeah. You can see they had some penalties. Jagers are really interesting. So this was the position that came under attack there. Oh yeah, I meant to take a look at how many losses the Soviets had taken there. What do you want to see there, George? I noticed an attack on Chongqing. Yeah, so in that turn there, they lost 1,146 AFVs. So they lost a decent amount. It could have been better, really. I mean, we lost really the majority of our AFVs around Stalingrad, where the 2 Panzer divisions were pushed back across the river. So that was pretty... that was a big shame. Otherwise, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, 19,000 men is pretty good. They lose 1,146 guns, which is handy. Our losses weren't too bad. The gun losses, obviously, and the AFV losses, just losses in general, came from retreats. Italians, yeah. Oh, man. Again, I'm gonna give them like a period of grace, just to make sure that if they commit to that, then I'll probably move back in there. Why has that come up there? Why is that doing that? Where does this come from? Why is Microsoft fucking... When did I ask for that to come up? When did I ask for that? I don't know where that came from. Yeah, these guys are very interesting. That's pretty wild. Yeah, like, I'd like to bring Jager out here. Replace these units. I could then have... it's interesting, really, because they're like divisions, aren't they? So they're a very interesting thing. But I think I'd have some good security around Orienbarm using them. I think I probably will go for that. I do have another Luftwaffe field division over here, which I could move out this way. Not quite far enough to make it to where I want it. Got the 20th Jager there. 225th. Oh god, yeah. 225th down here, isn't it? Yeah, that's 225th down there. Goddamn nightmare. No. We don't have Stalingrad. Okay. And these divisions are actually pretty good strength because been a little bit harder, a little bit further out there. They haven't been able to be hit by the TOE hammer yet. Right, what I want to go ahead and do is just take guys off the line here and just shift things down if I can. So it looks like they're in position here. That clear train is a bit of a problem. Obviously I need to protect Pskov, so I need to contain that. Swamp's nice. I do have a good appreciation for rivers now. Right. Go there. Oh, okay, that makes my life a lot easier then. A little bit easier. Regiments alone are never great, but for the time being they will have to do. So we can see mechanized over here, so we need to have something to head it out this way. But I think what I'm going to try and do is utilize zone of control to a good extent. I could even seed this area here and fall back to the river. But again, we have to recognize that they may freeze. Right, I got security there. Yeah, fall back across the river. So, security division is very interesting. 7,000 men. Yeah, they're essentially divisions, as you can tell by it saying security division. They just don't have the same equipment. So they're pretty interesting, but it's one of those of like, would I want to have that sense of reserve? It's like, ugh. I don't know. They certainly do have a place out here on the front, but not on the front. Only a barn be a nice position, I guess. Again, they're an intriguing unit. It's not that useful. Construction value isn't anything to write home about. They could be a good unit to garrison like Novgorod. Novgorod is a city. Yeah, Novgorod's a city, so it has an intrinsic +2 anyway. And it's got a 3, so yeah, Novgorod could be quite useful there. And they can make it to Novgorod too, which allows me then to move out the 20th motorized. I'm pretty okay with that. I want to remove motorization from this area in general, because it's simply not needed. That's quite good then. I think I'd like to probably have this move down this way, perhaps. But I'm not all that sure. Might be even better to move it towards Pskov, and it's an interesting one, really. Like, motorized doesn't really offer me anything out here. And we take a look at Kulpina over here, which is the city. Which is a real pain in the ass. I really do want to take that city. So if I take that, I have a solid position. I mean, this is it. It shows you the problems with Leningrad, really. And attempted to take the area. Like, you need to starve them. So it could be worthwhile to maintain some motorization out here. Because it means then I can actually try and push towards the ports with something that has some mobility. But I don't know about that. I don't know about that in general. Tough. But I'd like to have it utilized. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it away for the time being. I think what I'm going to do then is essentially have all motorized armed units kind of function in the area around here, really. Have them used as like fire brigades. Sitting out here in the frozen north doesn't really do me any good. Terrain's fantastic for defense, so I can make use of that. It'd have been great if I pushed up to the Volkov. I have a new appreciation for how good the Volkov is now. I have a new appreciation. I really want to take that position there, but I don't want to take away from the Soviets. I feel dirty about it. Okay. Eighth Third. I do want to reform 8th Third Division. And in fairness, I have a really nice opportunity over here because I could take advantage of this. It's hard because had this been a human opponent, I wouldn't feel bad about taking advantage of their weaknesses, but with it being like an AI, I do feel a little bit bad. It's just pretty amusing like that. I guess we'll have to make... I don't know. Yeah, it's not daft. It is daft, but it'll figure it out. Yeah, the bulge over here can be contained fairly nicely, fairly easily, as far as I can tell. The Panzer Division has taken additional replacements, was really, really good. I want to reconnect over here. Yeah, those motorized divisions are looking bifey. Yeah, everybody down here got a good deal of freight. Real nice amount of freight. I don't know what we had stored there, but I've got to assume it's probably stored. Yeah, look at that, received 18k. So that's pretty good. They're pretty close by to just a strong part of our logistical network. Yeah, I mean, you can see Vitebsk, or... how does Dojo say it? Dojo said it in a correct way. At least it sounded correct to me, like, Vitebsk? I don't know, something like that. But yeah, you can see here, stored, sent out 1500. Sent out 10.6, sent out 18.9. Yeah, so that's why these guys did very well, because they had just simply so much. I mean, even over here. That's the beauty of having, like, the... and really, that is why you want to have depots built up. It doesn't matter if you're not using them right now. As long as you have the depots actually maintained and there. Like, if you have to fall back, you are able to really recover quite quickly. We had attacks over here. That was probably one of the best attacks, well, one of the best defenses I've ever seen, considering it was only like level 1 4. But that shows you, I mean, that's even light woods as well, so they did a freaking phenomenal job. Very good job. Again, city. Right, if I take a look at it over here. Rivers then really are worth their weight. And I could establish a position along here, but it's like, I've only got the light woods, and light woods isn't as phenomenal. That city isn't worth anything to me. It's a size 2 rail yard though, which is worthwhile. Well, constricting the front is probably better. I think probably pull back around this area, but it depends really. I do have a pretty good density of river there. Heavy wood, swamp, light woods. Heavy woods there. What I might do in this area then is... this is the only problem here, but I could... I don't know, we might be able to do something about that area. It depends, really. I do like the rivers, then. There's not that many places where I can actually make use of the river out here. It may simply be better than just to fall back. Really, something like that. Or even... I don't know, something roughly... roughly like that. I do have really good terrain over here with the heavy woods. I'm just trying to think, like, how can I balance having defensibility with having the numbers? Like, obviously these divisions out here, it's like, is it worthwhile? Yeah, so there's some positions open here, but not all of them. They're a little bit looser on the line here. What are they in? Light woods? Light woods. I don't think light woods counts as dense terrain, so I can't use that against them. Yeah, not that much to do there. So, yeah, we're going to have the... I was going to start by... This was originally around about these guys. Yeah, so the difficulty is driving all that way. What's the morale like? 32. I could even maybe move them here initially. And at least then they could act as a reserve, perhaps. Or even over here, it'd not be a bad position. I'd really want to double these up and have these as like actual divisions, really. Yeah. But in the interest of not having a gigantic long stream again, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. It's 10:15. I am going to be going home tomorrow. So I don't want to be like staying up too late. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll continue over the course in the near future. Do go ahead and go to the poll and vote there. That'd be much appreciated. Would make a tremendous difference. Genuinely would. Like, I want to know what you guys want. So, let me know. Figure it out together. But I have appreciated your time here tonight. Hope you've had a good time. Haven't got all that much done, but that's generally the way I roll. I'm working towards getting a print made as well of the image you can see here in the background, so I'm going to see how that goes. It'd be cool if I could get something. But yes, I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. I hope to see you again in the future. And ayasumi nasai, jana, sayonara. Liking the video would be appreciated, and subscribe if you're not already. That'd be cool. Until next time, goodbye for now.